would you feel about seeing a great big black bear? Well, today's video, we're gonna go and find out how that feels. Stay tuned. Went to the dump a couple months ago, and I never posted a video because there was no bears to see. We're headed out there again because I got a good feeling that we're gonna see some bears. Keep your fingers crossed.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over.
Where the bears usually pile up is that big pile or the little pile behind the backhoe. I would imagine that most of them will be in that littler pile. I pulled over to the side of the road. I moved forward and I moved back and I moved forward and I moved back. I was trying to get a clear shot of the garbage heaps through the open gates. In a little while, this young gentleman comes up to the car and he goes, mind if I ask you what you're doing here? I said, I'm here to see the bears. And he goes, oh, okay. I says, anyway, you can leave those gates open for me? He goes, no. He says, unfortunately not. Hey, it's worth a shot, right? The answer is no if you don't ask. Yeah, they don't have a problem with me sitting here. I'm outside the gates. I'm going to be staying in my car because bears are not something that you want to fool around with. While we're waiting for bears, I'm sure we're going to see some. It's just a matter of wait and wait and wait. No bears yet, and it's 5:40. I'm just sitting here playing solitaire. They're not likely to be here till much later anyway. Well, I have to admit that being here alone, it's a bit creepy. Knowing that the bears are going to come. It's just a matter of when. The gates are closed and locked. It's about 6 o'clock now. I've been kind of walking around, checking out different laneways that have been blocked off, but not bears. I'm freaking myself out is what I'm doing. A girlfriend of mine told me one time she was here and she was standing up at the fence and her husband was in the van not too far from her. And she had moved closer to the fence to get a better look at the bears. And she said her husband yelled at her and she turned around and there was this great big huge bruin of a bear coming up behind her. And she was able to get into her car quickly enough. The bear really didn't pay much attention to her. He was more focused on the dump and getting some food. It could have been a pretty bad encounter for her, so she was very fortunate. So I'm kind of sticking close to my car. When I get out, I leave the door open and I make sure my keys are within easy reach. I won't leave them in the ignition because then the car goes ding, 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 as annoying as hell. And bear's hearing is very, very good, so I'm trying to remain quiet. But the last time I was here, I freaked myself out so badly that I couldn't stay, and I had left a little bit before the bears started showing up. It's a long shot view, so you really don't see much except for these big black things moving over top of the garbage. But at least you see bears. I kind of wish that I had binoculars or a stronger lens on my camera. The zoom on the cell phone that I use for most of my vlogging is just not good enough. It just doesn't get in there. But yeah, I'm hoping to get some decent shots. And this is another time that I wish I had a drone. I'm not sure what the legalities are of flying a drone over a dump. It'd be cool to see what's going on and get high enough up in the air to have a really good view of where the bears are coming in. Because that's the one main question on my mind. Where are they coming in from? Do they come from the far side of the dump, which is non-accessible to me? Do they come from behind me where they cross the road? I don't know. So it's really hard to know where to park the car. Right now there's a lot of turkey vultures. I've heard a few eagles, there's crows and ravens, and there's a ton of seagulls. And I've seen a chipmunk or two, but no bears yet. That's why I'm so nervous. And the bears, they usually go either on that big pile or on the little pile behind the backhoe. Yeah, that gate's pretty much locked up. You can't get in there after hours. I'm just keeping an eye out behind me in case a bear comes from that direction. It's a little bit unnerving being here. Yeah, I just freaked myself out. A flock of birds were up in a tree across the street over there, and they all took off at once. I tell you, every time a little branch moves or something, maybe I shouldn't be out here. And I still don't see any bears. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock now. Oh, the turkey vultures and the eagles are two of my favorites to watch. They're not doing much, though. I know every now and then you see a flock of seagulls lift up off the pile of garbage. That's probably because something falls down, or the eagles go after them. I don't know. I'm not close enough to see. I just see the result. It's a little bit frustrating. Thank God for rear view mirrors. And at least I could see behind me. I don't know if you can hear that, but this young couple just came with their kid in this little motorized vehicle playing their music really, really loud while they're walking their dog too. They're quite noisy and they're scaring off all my bears. They just scared off all the bears that were coming that way, which I guess is a good thing. Don't mind me, I'm just playing solitaire. Well, it's 7:30, still no bears. I've positioned myself where I can see down the road, and there's 2 laneways behind me. They're both like easy routes for a bear to either cross or come down. I got this really cool shot of a vulture in a tree. My lens is 18 to 200, so it's not that great for wildlife photography. I really need one that's 400 to 800. So I do have one, but it's really dirty. I'm not even sure I still have it. I might, I don't know, but it needs to go in for a cleaning because it's got dust in it. It does fit this camera because this is a bayonet mount, which I really, really like. And this, by the way, is the Nikon D5600. Spent a lot of money on that because of this lens. It's not the kit lens. I upgraded from the kit lens. At first I wasn't too crazy about the color, but I was so used to seeing things on my iPhone that, I mean, there's no comparison. But yeah, no bears yet. So sunset tonight is at 8:45 and it is now 8:10 and I haven't seen any bears. This sucks. I have heard a lot of noises that have spooked me though. I don't see anything. There's nothing behind me. I see chipmunks and squirrels and birds. So it looks like I might have company in the red truck. I'm not the only one that thinks bears are interesting. Maybe they'll bring the bears with them. I certainly feel a little bit more relaxed knowing that there's another vehicle here. Because I was here all alone. And that's not a really wise thing to do. I was just thinking about getting my bear spray out just in case. Looks like they might be leaving. May have to get my bear spray out after all. It's 20 after 8, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I mean, before long, I'm not going to be able to see them anyway. And we'll have to come back another night. So after that couple left in the red truck, I did get out and get my bear spray. I won't need it because I'm safely in the car, but it's not a bad idea to have it. I also took the trigger protector off because I really honestly don't know what I'd do in a panic situation. So I'd rather have it off and be able to grab it and just spray. $55 for this. And that was like a year ago. There is an expiry date on these things, so keep that in mind. Yeah, it was $59.95. It expires in 2025. I like it because it's got this little pouch, but I don't ever wear a belt or anything. It does have the belt loop, and this goes over the top. I don't want to muck around with it too much because I do not want to set it off by mistake in the car, especially. That would not be a good thing. Bear spray at the ready, just in case. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to see bears tonight. When I was outside getting the bear spray, because I had to walk around to the other side, it was in the rear passenger door, I heard a squirrel or a chipmunk doing their twittering thing, which is a warning call. And I froze because I thought, they don't call for just any reason. They call because they're disturbed for some reason. So I listened, and I didn't hear anything coming through the bush, and this squirrel or chipmunk was chattering away. I got in the car. I thought, I'm not taking any chances. I think it's important to listen to what's going on around you. I'd like to turn that fan off. Actually, maybe I will. I can actually hear myself think. But it gets hot in here because I've got the passenger window 3/4 of the way up because I don't want to be surprised on that side. I don't want to be surprised on this side either. We'll wait a bit longer. I hear another car coming. They weren't staying either. You don't see anything if you just come, look, and leave. You see a pile of rubbish, that's it. Hopefully I'll be rewarded for my long wait. On the horizon, there's some pink. See? There's pink there. But there's still no bears. Although I'm still hopeful. Mosquitoes have found me. I sprayed the last of my insect repellent because they were starting to come in the car, so hopefully that'll keep them out. And I took my thermosol out of the car. It's in my storage unit right now. I suppose I could have used it, but the last time I tried to use it in the car, I got a sore throat and really sore eyes. The chemical that it emits is just too strong for such a closed-in area. It's too bad because I would have used it at night. I might go and pick it up and just use it sporadically, like if I'm just sitting editing or reading or something like that, as long as I've got a couple of windows open. It's not too bad, but it keeps the mosquitoes out of the car. And I still don't see any bears. I'm kind of disappointed. Well, it's not completely dark yet. It's still light out. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I mean, hell, why not? I've been here long enough now. What's another 10 minutes? I heard something big in the bush. Did you hear that? It was probably just birds flapping their wings. There's some pretty big birds around here. Yeah, that's what it is. Birds roosting for the night. Either the eagles or the turkey vultures. Scared the crap out of me, though. Thought it was a bear coming through the bush. And honestly, I don't even know if they're noisy going through the bush or not. So many different sounds when you're waiting for something vicious. I've never heard that before, but it was definitely birds flapping their wings back and forth. I could see their shadows in between the tree branches. Probably the turkey vultures settling in for the night, but I still haven't seen a bear. I do hear another car coming though. Oh, it's that red pickup truck backing up. I will have company after all. If they were smart, they'd pull in beside me right in front of the gate. Well, which they're gonna do. They're smart. Still no bears. It's funny. I feel instantly calm knowing that there's one other person here. I'll put my bear spray away. The last thing I want is for this thing to go off. So all you do is you just take this white thing and pop it like that. So yeah. Okay, so it's 8:47. The sun is setting. And there's not a bear to be seen. I don't know if we're going to see any tonight, which is a huge disappointment. I just noticed something on the sign, the danger bears sign. The bear has a bullet hole. I just spotted a bear. He's way out in the field, but he's there. Okay, so I counted 3, possibly 4 bears, but they're so far away, they're very, very difficult to see. And the mosquitoes were horrendous. I think it's time to call it quits for the night. It's starting to get too dark anyway. The bears will feed, and I've just got pictures. I didn't get any video of them because it's too far away with my phone. I didn't have my tripod with me. Yeah, I wasn't able to videotape anything. And when I zoomed in as far as I could go, and then on the screen I, zoomed in a little bit more, all you really see is a black blob, so you're not that close to them. That's basically what you see. And all I do is just use my 2 fingers and zoom in. And you can see that it's a bear, but it's really fuzzy. I need a bigger lens. The guy in the red truck, he was telling me that years ago they used to have the garbage right up close to the fence. And I said, yeah, they've probably moved it because of people like us. The garbage attracts the bears. The bears attract the people. Some people get a little bit foolish, so they get hurt. So they move the garbage way, way back. So it's really, really hard to see any bears. And it's too dark. Ugh, damn mosquitoes. It's too dark to photograph them even now. I knew they'd come. It was just a matter of, I was hoping they'd come in more daylight. And I got mosquito bites all over on my hand. There's one on my foot. But now it's time to find a place to go to bed. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Encourage me, even though my mother says you shouldn't be encouraging me. Thanks. Have an awesome day.
Live your life within the moment, moment. And don't go wait until the morning, morning. You never know when it is over, over. All that I know is we'll get older.